You know, it's pretty amazing when you think about it. How can an entire epic story of survival, struggle, and ultimately hope be born from just a single sentence? Well, today we're diving into a really fascinating dramatic script that does exactly that. It takes one simple line of text and spins it into a whole human odyssey.
And this is it. This is the sentence in the original Serbian that the entire journey is built on. I mean, it seems so simple, right? So direct. A group of people just went from one place to another. But as we're about to see, packed inside these few words is the seed for a really powerful narrative.
So here it is in English. What we're going to do is break down how the source script takes this simple geographical statement and just blows it up. How it turns it into this gripping story of human endurance and the search for a safe place to land.
All right, first up, the departure from the Red Sea. The story kicks off, just like the text says, at Ezion Geber, with this huge, momentous departure from the shores of the Red Sea.
So right from the get-go, the story sets up these huge stakes. Think about it. On one hand, you've got Ezion Geber. It's a port, it's familiar, it's safe, it's the world they know. And then, on the other hand, you have the wilderness. Just this massive, dry, rocky, completely unknown horizon. That contrast, I mean, it just immediately tells you how heavy this decision was, to leave everything certain behind for the great unknown.
And you can just feel the weight of this moment in the leader's words. He says, Ezion Geber gave us refuge, but it is time to move on. The wilderness of sin awaits us. You can almost hear the resolve in his voice, right? But also that heavy, heavy burden of responsibility. It's this mix of sadness for leaving safety behind, but also this desperate hope for whatever's next. This is no simple trip, it's a mission, and people's lives are on the line.
Okay, next section, trials of the wilderness. But leaving the safety of the shore, that was just the beginning. Once they actually got into the wilderness, that's when the brutal reality of the desert hit them. This is where their resolve would be tested, for real.
So the journey just becomes this relentless, week-by-week grind. It's not like one big disaster. It's more like this slow, constant drain on their bodies and their spirits. You see, as the weeks drag on, that initial hope starts to fade. Then a sandstorm just batters them. They even find water, but it's bitter. It's no real relief. And by that fourth week, you can feel the doubt just creeping in. The destination starts to feel, well, impossibly far away.
And the way this ordeal is described, it's so visceral. You can almost feel it. It's not just about being tired. It's the scorching sun burning you by day, and then the biting cold at night. It's the constant howling of the desert winds, that gnawing thirst and fatigue. And then you see the skeletons of animals scattered around. A grim, silent reminder of what happens if you fail. Suddenly, the hardship isn't just a concept. It's immediate, and it feels very, very real.
And now, the oasis of Kadesh. Because every great story of trial and suffering has a turning point. After all those weeks of just agony, the narrative finally starts shifting toward that destination. From the original sentence, the camp at Kadesh.
So let's just pause here for a second. I mean, really try to put yourself in their shoes. You are exhausted, you're thirsty, your food is almost gone, and for weeks, all you've seen is rock and sand. Is there any hope left at all? It's right here, at their absolute lowest point, that the whole story pivots.
And then you get this single moment. A scout, probably out of breath, totally exhausted, shouting the news. Leader, over there, Kadesh, we saw palm trees and springs. And just like that, after all that suffering, the destination isn't just some far-off idea anymore. It's something they can see. It's real. This is the payoff. This is what they endured everything for.
And arriving at Kadesh, wow, it's a complete transformation. I mean, look at this. The landscape goes from rocky and barren to green and alive. Water goes from being scarce and bitter to abundant and fresh. And maybe most importantly, their morale just flips. It goes from absolute despair and doubt to this overwhelming feeling of relief and joy. Kadesh isn't just a place to pitch a tent, it's a haven. It's a symbol of salvation.
Section 4, Mapping a Desert Odyssey. So, we followed the emotional journey, right? From leaving home to finding a new one. Now, let's zoom out and see how this entire odyssey can be visualized on a single, really powerful map.
This stylized map just brings the whole story together so perfectly. It turns that abstract line of text into a real visual journey. You've got point A, the anchor. That's the safe harbor they left behind. Then there's the path, that long, winding line through the desert. That's the struggle. And finally, point B, with its symbols for shelter, for palm trees, for water. That's the haven of Kadesh. The entire emotional roller coaster of this odyssey is captured right here on this map. So in the end, we see how a simple statement, basically, they went from point A to point B, was filled with so much more. It was filled with hardship, with despair, with incredible leadership, and finally, with profound relief. It just goes to show you the incredible power of a good story, doesn't it? To find a whole universe of meaning in just a handful of words. And it really makes you wonder, what other one-sentence stories are hiding in plain sight, all around us, just waiting to be told?